is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
What is the TP family? What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple. Education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
Hello, TP family. Welcome to the one and only Trading Psychology Masterclass here on YouTube Live. We have got some exciting lineups coming up your way today. And trust me, you don't want to miss a thing. So here's what I need you to do for today. You have to grab your pen, your notebook, and maybe even your favorite beverage. Could be Coke, it could be a cup of tea, it could be coffee, it could be anything that will allow you to relax and really enjoy today's Trading Psychology Masterclass all the way from the beginning to the end, because we are going to really discuss a lot of things today. We have some different faces coming up today as well, so it's going to be very, very exciting. And if you have not invited someone yet, pause for just a second right now and share the link to anyone that is supposed to be on this live stream right now. You want them to be invited. You want them to receive the same information that everyone else is going to receive. You want them to be as knowledgeable as you are. Okay, so today's masterclass is going to be once again packed with psychology session from Cliff Cheqona, and we are also going to have edge in trading, I believe. And then we're also going to go over our book summary of the month, which is The Psychology of Money. So please do sit back, stay focused, and let's make this session one to remember. And also, can I know where everyone is tuning in from? We have 22 people streaming right now. So definitely let me know where you are tuning in from, and then we will get the show started. I am also excited for today's masterclass. So, where is everyone tuning in from? Oh, we have Mohammed from Somalia, Cameroon. Nice, 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 nice. Larry from Kenya. I always see Larry. Anambra State, Nigeria. Nigeria once again. It's amazing how you guys always tune in every week to come on this live session to I don't think I've seen this country before. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm gonna try my best. I think it's called Ecuador. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but if I mispronounce it, I'll go look up the right pronunciation. But without any further talking, we also have people from Bangladesh and Ghana. Oh, nice to meet everyone. Without any further talking, let's just dive right into the next segment of this trading psychology masterclass. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Just give me a sec. Let me get started. All right. Afternoon, everyone, or good evening, good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Willis Orome, and I'm going to be going through the book segment for today. Every single week, I actually ask the question, not because it's probably not obvious, but it's for the sake of new viewers and whoever's probably tuning in for the very first time. So, does anybody know the book that we're going to be reviewing this week, especially for the new people? That's what I wanted to find out. So, just drop in the comments which book we are reviewing. I know exactly the book we're reviewing. For those who attended last week's masterclass, you know exactly the book that we're reviewing. But for the sake of the new people, just let me know if you guys know, what book we're going to be reviewing. Let's just see in the chat. Somebody drop it in the chat. Also, just to add something else on top of that, does anybody know the chapter that we're going to be reviewing this week from the book that we're reviewing currently? Let me know in the chat. You can see the comments are still going. We have quite a few people from Nigeria, Ecuador. Welcome to the call. We have some people from Ghana. Yep, somebody is brand new. Welcome to the call, Camellia. If I mispronounce your name, I do apologize. So we have somebody from Jamaica. Right, brilliant. We have The Psychology of Money. All right, so The Psychology of Money is the book that we're going to be reviewing today, of course. But more specifically, we're going to be reviewing chapter 4. So chapter 4 talks about, in fact, the subheading or the title of chapter 4 is, in fact, let me get this correctly, compounding. All right. So if you guys understand the term compounding, or if you've heard compounding before, just drop some number ones in the chat. We're going to be diving deeper into the subject of compounding. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not here to teach you what compounding actually means, but this is just a summary of what I even take from the book, because as much as I'm on the stage right now, I'm very much a student of the game. I'm very much learning like most of you guys. And yeah, it's very, very exciting times, especially with what I've actually reviewed for this this summary for this week. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it for chapter 4, compounding and confounding. All right. Now, the first thing I wanted to highlight is learning how compounding works. Okay, learning how compounding works. If you guys have actually read the book, which I would assume, or I should hope that most people are reading the book each and every single week, all right? Compounding, the way it works is very powerful. In fact, it's something that's so powerful that for the average mind, in fact, even for the people that have understood the definition, it doesn't necessarily always make sense. In fact, it's not really a reality for the majority of people. And there's a very specific reason why I'll probably share at the end. Okay. So in the first or the opening remarks of the book or this particular chapter, the author highlights something to do with an ice age. Now, whether you decide to believe it or not, the theory or the basis of the theory is that there was once an ice age which froze the entire earth. And the basis of that is that during one summer, a layer of ice wasn't frozen. In fact, sorry, it didn't melt during the summer. Okay, then fast forward, because that layer of ice didn't melt because during the summer, the next summer, that layer of ice become another layer of ice. Fast forward over the next, I don't know, tens of hundreds of couple of years, that became an ice age, hence freezing the earth. Okay, again, this is just a concept that I'm just trying to explain. The whole idea here is compounding. Something that looks so small as snow can make such a significant, powerful difference over a period of time. Hopefully you guys catch a few things that I've just said in that sentence right there. Okay, because I'm going to be revealing that in just a moment. All right. Well, then if we progress even further, I'd like to use just a few examples of the things that I've even learned, even from my own personal experience. Say, for example, the person who decides that they wanted to go to the gym, right? We often do this. January comes around, you guys, some of you will know exactly what I'm trying to say. Some people would love the idea of going to the gym January. And then because they don't see instant results, because they get tired after maybe the first or the second week, they stop remaining consistent, right? And oftentimes that leads to inconsistencies. There's no discipline, there's no time, and before you know it, March comes around and you've forgotten everything that you need to do when it comes to going to the gym, right? However, immediately you're not going to see the muscles, right? Immediately you're not going to have the muscular endurance or maybe the strength or the endurance that you need to run a certain amount of time, right? It takes a period of time of consistent efforts done over time. Now, another example I'd like to use is I have a lovely son who's soon to be turning 2 years old, right? But from the moment he was born to the very period that he's at right now, in the moment, if I was to look at him and pay attention to him, I can't physically, with my naked eye, see growth. I can't see it. However, over time, over the last 2 years, I was able to see that, wow, my son has grown from the moment that he was born to right now, he's going to be maybe 2 years old, right? So yes, over a period of time, I've successfully seen my son grow from the day he was born to the age that he's at right now. But if I look at him, I cannot say, wow. I can see that his ears are stretching. I can see that his mouth is getting bigger. I can see that he's getting taller. It just doesn't exist, right? Now, it does exist, but my point is, you don't physically see the changes instantly. It doesn't work like that, right? And what I love about this particular chapter is that the author highlights, once again, as he's done a few times already in the first few chapters, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is the world's most famous and probably the best investor of all time, right? However, at the time of recording this book or making this book, his net worth was around $84.5 billion. But what's also so interesting is that 84.2 billion, so let's just summarize it here. He still made $84 billion. 84.2 billion, so not much of a margin difference here, was made after the age of 50. It was accumulated after the age of 50. So you can probably imagine, okay, so where did all the money come from? It didn't just fall from the sky and he just ended up becoming a multi-billionaire, after he turned 50, right? It's a series of efforts and compounding that happen consistently every single time since the age of 10. So if you were to look in the book and really, taking the content, or if you're listening to the book, if you're reading the book, you can see that he has been an investor since the age of 10, okay, which is quite powerful. Now, he might not necessarily have had the funds or the money, per se, the millions and millions at the age of 10. However, it's the consistent habits that were done, that were continued over a set period of time, such as maybe the small amount of money that he had, the habits, the ideas of just reinvesting the money that he's earned through work or through businesses that might have occurred back in those days, right? And over a period of time, consistently, making returns each and every single year, right? Another comparison that's also used in this particular book is a famous trader, I believe, called Jim Simons. Now he's a, he works in the finance sector in terms of, when it comes to, stocks, forex, hedge funds, that kind of thing. Now, in terms of consistent returns on a yearly basis, right? Listen carefully. In terms of consistent returns on a yearly basis, his returns on an annual basis were 60% in comparison to Warren Buffett's, I believe, 20 to 30% per year, right? Now, you might think, okay, so Jim Simons, his revenue, his return per year consistently is around about 60%, right? Whereas Warren Buffett is around about 20 to 30%. Jim Simons' net worth is around 21 billion, whereas Warren Buffett's net worth exceeds over 80 something billion. The difference here is Warren Buffett started a lot earlier than Jim Simons did. So imagine if Jim Simons did exactly the same thing at an earlier age, and imagine the difference in net worth that he probably would have been able to produce even right now. And this is probably something that's quite fascinating in this segment of the book, right? So that's what I wanted to highlight in terms of, particular moments in that book. But here's one thing I wanted to add here. I was actually taking the time to think about this, but two things. Well, the first thing is sometimes what seems like small changes, it doesn't feel like anything is actually happening, right? But sometimes these small changes can lead to astronomical results, right? If you've ever heard of the analogy of the compound effect, the penny that doubles every single day for 30 days in comparison to earning just $1 million, right? If you guys have heard the story before, or if you haven't heard, it's in the book called The Compound Effect. But in fact, the penny that doubles every single day for 30 days is far greater than just being handed just the 1 million. Of course, the 1 million in the moment is great, it's perfect. But the outcome and the result of a penny doubling every single day is going to be way more than the million or the cash in hand that you've probably just received from somebody, right? However, it probably doesn't occur between the last 10 or the last 5 days that the compound effect, you visibly begin to see the difference in the compounding each and every single day. And the second thing I wanted to say is this. I personally believe that compounding requires faith, right? There's a scripture that I wanted to highlight here. Again, I'm somebody who believes in the Bible, and it's something that's quoted from the Bible, which basically says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not to your own understanding, right? Oftentimes as human beings, what we tend to do is we want to visibly be able to predict a year from now, I'm going to be earning £1 million. 2 years from now, I'm going to be earning £500,000. Oh, 2 years from now, I'm going to 100% successfully pay off 100% of all of my debts. I'm going to be debt free. Now, that's not necessarily a guarantee. I hate to say it, but it's not a guarantee. Yes, great. It might be a guarantee. You might win the lottery, but it's not a guarantee. Why? Because it requires faith and it requires action as well. But it requires trust, right? Yes, trust in God, of course, trust in the Lord. But my point here is it requires faith to understand how compounding works, because you're not going to see immediate results from the efforts that you're doing immediately, right? That's the powerful thing that, it really occurred to me. I said, you know what? Compounding is great. We hear the compounding effect every single time, but it actually requires you to trust the process, in fact. And if you don't trust the process, then that's the reality of what we see every single day. Most people start things, and after a couple of weeks or even a couple of months of not seeing the results that they desired for, they just stop, not knowing that if they continued for a couple of weeks more or a couple of months more, they were going to indeed receive the breakthrough at the end of it, right? Now, here's something that I'm going to probably end up with, okay? Because I know every single person here is a trader. I myself am a trader. I love the idea of trading simply because it builds your mind. It prepares you for not just staying in the markets, but it actually trains you for life. There's a lot of things that it can prepare you for simply because of the type of person that you're required to become, right? But as a trader, you need to be able to become a creature of habits. Yes, I said it and I'll say it again. Become a creature of habits. Why? Because we don't like to stick to habits naturally. We don't like it. However, when we consistently become a creature of habits over time, those habits can immediately dictate the avenue or the direction that you're being pushed into. In fact, the desire that you probably have in the future is being dictated by the type of habits that you regularly put on a regular basis. Okay. So there's one key structure here that I've mentioned throughout the last couple of minutes that I've spoken, which is basically time. Give it time. It's not going to happen immediately and it's not going to happen overnight. But you need to be able to do these habits over a set period of time. Okay. Earning good returns is not necessarily about making big amounts of money immediately, or just making big amounts of money necessarily. No, it's about having a set or a consistent way of returning. Okay, I'm going to highlight what I mean by that by giving you an example, but it's simply about having a consistent type of return on a regular basis that you're able to reproduce. It can be repeated on a regular basis. When your opportunity does arise, that type of return is repeated on a regular basis. Okay, I'm going to give you just a quick summary or scope of how I like to approach the markets oftentimes when I come to the market, depending on the type or the size of account that I am trading with, I have a set stop loss and a set take profit. Okay, so I have a set stop loss and a set take profit, which is usually a 1 to 2. So for example, let's just say for every $50 that I am risking, I know that I'm going to be making $100, which is simply double the amount of $50 if the trade is to be successful. Okay, I don't really care if the trade is to go 100 points or 100 pips. I don't necessarily care. But the fact of the matter is, even if that has a potential of doing 200, 300, 400 pounds, right? As soon as it hits my 100 mark, I am satisfied for the day. If I continue to stay or try to re-enter the market, I begin to expose myself to greed and things that I probably wouldn't want as an outcome at the end of the day. Okay. Have quality risk management, which is a segment that's going to be covered today. Okay. Good habits such as a pre-trading routine. Okay. Do you just get up and just go on your phone immediately and just start trading? I predict that the price of gold is going to go here. If you do that, then that's good. That's great for you. But that's not necessarily the way that you want to create and be a creature of habits. Because at the end of it, you're going to reap the results, which oftentimes is not really going to be a great outcome. Okay. Taking 1 or maybe 2 trades a day, regardless of if it's a win or if it's a loss or if it's a break even. If you win, great. If you lose the trade, great. But simply because you've lost, do not go into the market because you want to make money, right? So, and last example I'll probably highlight is this. Let's just say you are somebody who is trading with an account that is, I don't know, you have a $500 account, right? But you're making consistently £50 a day or $50 a day. But you're saying, you know what, I've had a 90% success rate, a hit rate. Let me just a little bit, just a little tiny bit, just increase my slot size, right? So rather than risking $50, you're now risking $200. Yes, great. You have a successful doubling of account. You've tried to scale your account. It just takes one simple trade for that habit to basically leave you with no account. Okay, so the whole idea is you want to consistently do that one thing until you scale up. That's another example of having becoming a creature of habits. Do not basically over leverage because you feel like something is working, but not in the manner that you want to see it in terms of compounding. Give it some time. You're not going to go from $500 to a 50K account immediately. Give it some time, right? Because you need to become a creature of habits. The last few things I'm going to highlight is this, that compounding isn't just about getting rich fast. No. It's about time, patience, and consistency. If there's anything that I would love for you to take away from this particular segment before we get right into the rest of this session is time, which is the key factor here. Time. Be patient and remain consistent to the habits and the systems that you've implemented in your trading lifestyle. I'll probably add one more thing into it. Compounding requires faith, right? Naturally, from day 1 to day 20 or from month 1 from month 2, we're not necessarily going to be seeing the results immediately. I've been trading for over 4 years, right? Although there's some level of consistency in terms of how I do things, I journal, I trade every single day, right? I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still becoming a creature of habits every single day. Okay. However, it requires faith to know that the outcome that you want to produce is dictated by the habits that you create today. The last thing I'm going to say is this: you don't decide your future, but you decide the habits, and those habits will determine your future. On that note, guys, I really hope you love this segment. I'm really excited for the rest of this call. Okay. This call, just to remind you, is about trading psychology. We're basically training your mind to become effective, not just in the market, but effective to make an impact in this world. My name is Willis Aromi, and we will now we will now get into the next segment, which will now go into the markup session. So hope you guys enjoy this session, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace out, guys.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm back again. Thank you very much. Well, as you said, timing is important. This is the time for us to go through the market overview. So, guys, if you can hear me, type in one and let me see that you can actually hear me. I want the ones can come in. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, type in one. Nice one, nice one. So basically, I want to see you guys. What kind of currency pairs did you manage to trade last week? Type it in the comments and let me see the currency pairs that you actually traded last week. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. All right, we go. Keep it coming though. So right now, I want us to actually go over three currency pairs: the GBP JPY, the NZD USD, and the GBP USD. Okay, I can see people traded AUD JPY. Good gold. All right. GBP USD. Nice one. Nice one. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. All right. Let's go straight to the point. So last week we were talking about GBP USD. Basically, last week when it opened, that was on Sunday. Market opened. Market opened on the Sunday. That was on the 25th. And we could see market already open to the downside. And basically, it rallied up to the moon. On GBP USD, basically we were expecting for more sales because it was respecting this support resistance. Sorry, so we were still suspecting or expecting more of sales, which actually market opened down and it actually rejected on the support, and right now it went through the resistance, which is now a support. Going on the NZD USD last week too, market open on Sunday, and we were expecting more sales as well. Market actually respected and it went down before it rallied up. So we can see it went down like 40 pips and it got rejected on the support, which was around the area of 0.56000. On GBP JPY, basically we were actually expecting more of a sell as well. And what price did was price actually went down just a little bit and got rejected and got straight forward to the moon. So basically, you break the resistance, which it was a key level, and it went through to this upside. So let's jump on quickly to what we are expecting on the coming week. So basically, I'm looking at GU, which we can see that GU actually went through the resistance, which is now our support. It went through it and is going up. And I can see that I have my trading range, which is around the 1.281 or 1.28105 and 1.21100. So basically, that is my trading range, and I'm expecting price to actually move or continue to the upside. So this week, I'm looking for more of a buy. How can I anticipate in this buy? So basically, we can see price break through this resistance and it's now a support. So I will wait for price to pull back to this zone. That is 125.458-ish. So the media can show us the coordinates. That will be really perfect for us. So I'll be looking for price to retrace to this region or this area before I will look for a buy to the upside. Or we can draw the fib from the downside to the upside, and we could see from the fib price has already reached the 50% of retracement. So I will be more of expecting it to come down to around this area, the 61 and the 78 region. And if it gets really rejected, then basically I'll look for a buy at the side. Yeah, there we go. If it goes down, it reject it. I'll wait for that pullback, a break of a structure before I will anticipate in the buy to the upside. There. Okay, moving on to NZD USD. The same thing I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to pull back to this coordinates, which is around the 0.57229. Then I will expect a break of structure before I will actually anticipate in a buy, or I'll wait for it to get through this region, which is having 0.572 02 or 033, if the coordinates can be shown on the screen, before I look for a buy to the upside. So I'm more of buys on the USD pairs. That is the USD JP GBP USD and the NZD USD. I'm looking for a buy, but if it breaks through this support, then I will rather look for sells on this NZD USD to the downside. That is around 0.56065. Moving on to GBP JPY, we could see that GBP JPY on the daily time frame, we could see it got rejected on the 1.93053, and it seems like we are going to head downwards to the take profit of 187.075, only if it breaks through this region, which is 1.191.279. So if it breaks through, we wait for a pullback to that side before we anticipate to the downside. If not, then price rejects over here on that same support, then that means we will wait till we get the break of structure on a smaller time frame. Then we will actually target around 192.453. And if price continues and breaks the region or the interest region, which is 193.283, then I will actually hold this trade to the upside, which I will target the area of 194.636. So basically, that will be my interest region. So more of patience, and as Will says, time always tells. So we will actually wait until market shows us what is doing in the market, or let's say price show us what market is going, so that we can anticipate. Remember, always it's always about break of a structure, a pullback, then a continuation. We will actually anticipate on the continuation to the downside. Or if it's the up, the same thing, break of a structure, pullback, then we will anticipate to the upside. That is it for the market overview. Please trade responsibly and make sure you wait patiently, because the market pays when you wait. Timing is good. The next segment is talking about risk management. You don't want to actually miss out. So stay tuned for the next segment. Take care. Bye.
Can you guys hear me? First of all, before I get started, I want to make sure my mic is good. Could someone confirm for me the mic is good? Can I get some ones? Can I get a check? Okay, mic check. Perfect. Thank you. So I'm going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Ivan Coco. I'm from New York. I am a friend of Cliff, and I appreciate being brought onto this call. And thank you to Willis and Albert for their segments. Are very interesting. I have a little bit of allergies I'm dealing with, so if I sound a little crazy, I apologize. Basically, I've been trading for 10 years now. June exactly would make 10 years, so 9 years and a half. Been trading a long time, and I've learned every style of trading you could think of, from retail trading, indicators based. I make indicators, I make expert advisors, and I've learned basically it doesn't matter what strategy you use, you can trade any strategy. And if you don't have the proper mindset and the proper risk management, you simply won't be successful. It goes back to the point that Willis brought up about consistency and about compounding. It's very much so what risk management is all about. It's all about consistency, and it's all about compounding. If you understand that a good P&L or a good bottom line would have had stages of compounding and stages of losses and stages of wins before it can show a good P&L. Just like Mr. Warren Buffett's P&L has some losses on it. If you take a look at his P&L, there's losses. The difference between his losses and some retail traders, some day-to-day trading losses is the consistency of those losses. So I wanted to start by asking the question: do we think people like Warren Buffett and Jim Simons, do we think that they look at charts? You guys, I don't know if you guys have any understanding of that. What do you guys think? Do you think bank traders, do you think institutional traders use the same charts that we use on trading? Do they hop on TradingView and they look at charts intraday and then they decide, where they're going to get in, where their support and resistance levels are? Let me get some comments in the chat. I want to see what you guys think, where your head is at. No. Well, I'm glad you guys know. Sometimes, I didn't know at first. I would see the daily support and resistance, and I was like, okay, everyone's seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, so we're all on the same page. Very incorrect. After years of day trading and really not being successful, I started looking more into what bigger players are doing, and I started understanding. We'll get into that as we get down. I'll give you guys more information about myself, but let's just say I've been through a lot of education around the subject, and I can tell you what I've discovered is fascinating. Traders don't use charts like we use them. They hardly use the numbers. They're given objectives by their higher ups, and their job is to unwind risk. So what we consider a buy or sell opportunity, they're not even looking at it in those terms. They're given a negative book balance, and their job is to unwind that risk and work it into the opportunities presented in the market. So they're not looking at support and resistance at all. However, if you look at all of the textbooks since the 70s, since trading became mainstream, all of the textbooks and retail logic teach us chart patterns. They teach us mean reversion or moving average crosses. They teach us indicators. They teach us support and resistance, descending triangles, head and shoulders patterns. And the reality is that those only work when they work. But there's one component missing to that. First, the agenda is sent from above. The bank is given their task, their job. And then once they're decided, hey, we need more of this or less of that, then the patterns that we think are supposed to work will start working, and not before. That makes all the difference. If you guys understand what I'm saying, it makes all the difference. Our patterns that we understand only work after the collective bigger banks that move the market already have an assignment to either offload risk or increase risk. Let me see. I think brokers provide us retail traders with the charts we see. Right. And the other thing I'm not sure if you guys realize is, well, you must by now, if you've been trading any amount of years, different brokers receive a feed. They receive the pricing from I don't want to get too deep, but they receive their pricing from another source. Different brokers receive their pricing from another source. That's why in between brokers, there will be a small, discretionary spread between price. So in my case, I'm from the United States. I have Oanda and I have Forex.com. Those are the two biggest Forex brokers. Their spread, their price feed, their quotes might be slightly different for the same Forex cross pair. So although we're all seeing, seemingly the same thing, we can understand that under Forex.com, the price that they provide is based on the numbers that they actually have to offer their clientele, and the prices that their competitors provide are based on the liquidity and the numbers that they have to offer their own clientele. So when it comes to the retail level, now we knock down lower to the day trading retail level. What we're looking at, and for the most part, we look at intraday charts, we look at intraday pricing inside of a day. At the highest level, where the people who actually move the market are involved, they have no idea what the 1 hour, head and shoulders pattern looks like. They don't even know that it's there. It's completely imperceptible at those levels. And we need to understand that. Once I understood that and I started looking backwards to reverse engineer that, I started understanding that if I was to be successful at this, I need to stop thinking of myself as a day trader and start thinking of myself as a money manager or a risk manager, just like they do, because then you start looking at opportunity differently in the market. So there's a very deep connection between psychology and risk management. Apologize. The way that I like to think of the connection is time. Time is the most important component because they can't manipulate they can't manipulate the charts too much. They have a very small spread window to manipulate the charts. But they can manipulate time because if there's, let's say, less than 20 big players in the market and they don't want to get left behind when the rest of the world and within those big players, when the rest of them start to buy or start to accumulate a position, you don't want to be late to that because then you'll be accumulating higher prices when you could have had lower prices. So what they do is they all move together in unison, and they all do that around the only thing that they all have in common, no matter what broker they're from, what country they're from, they have time in common because humans are subject to time everywhere. Systems are subject to time. Banks work on time, right? There's actual people moving these markets, and they are subject to time as well. And that goes back to Willis's point very well. You have to understand the compounding process. So what I came to bring to you today is we can combat that by knowing ourselves and creating a plan so that when we get into trouble, we use time on our side and we decrease our risk systematically so that we last longer periods of time in the market until an opportunity comes back around to the market. I'm going to ask you guys another question. When you guys take a losing trade, or during the week as you lose and win trades, do you ever go back to review your losing trades? Do you ever go back to review any of your trades? I asked because what made the biggest breakthrough for me was a deep analysis of my P&L for the week. So I would look at my losses for the week, I would replay my losses, and I would see what I was thinking at the time versus what actually ended up happening, and then match that to my P&L. Inevitably, I would find that there was a point in which I reached tilt, where the trading plan always works while everything is good. When you're winning, everything is fine. Trading plan is working. Once you have one losing trade, there's one more trade. It's always 1 degree more, one more losing trade, or maybe the chart moves very quickly. It causes you to change your behaviors, especially if you don't have behaviors that are cemented, behaviors that are fixed, that you've been practicing over and over and over again, habits that you've already made a part of your life. If you're still new to this and new to building habits, you will always default back to fear-based thinking. And bank traders at that level understand psychology a lot more than the typical day trader does. And they use that against us. So if you notice, the market will always show several levels of support or several levels of resistance before making its move. It's because there's liquidity available. There's opportunity available wherever traders have opinions about the market. So retail traders see longs and shorts. Bank traders see opportunity. So they're really not concerned what direction that we enter the market. They're more so concerned with concentrating their energy at the areas where patterns form. If you ever notice, there's always massive areas of patterns forming. It'll chop around, and then it seems like velocity or momentum rushes into the market, and all of a sudden it moves. Doesn't it seem that way? It seems like it moves quickly. It's not so much that. It's always time-based. It's always time-based. Once time reaches a certain point, and at the bank level, they're now also subject to time, then they'll push out whatever remaining trades they have for that day or for that week, and they'll basically tie up and finish up their books at that point in time. And since they are all subject to the same time and they all move those orders together, that's where that sense of momentum comes into the market. How we could use that to our benefit is we go back and study our P&L. We match our P&L to what actually happened in the charts, and we try to understand where that 1 degree of tilt is, where that 1 degree, where one more trade can get us either into a sense of fear or a sense of excitement. There's for some people, 3 winning trades in a row, and they're in a sense of bliss where they can no longer perceive risk, and they're now convinced that whatever it is that they're looking at in the market is exactly right and they can do no wrong. For some people, it's 3 losses. You say 3 losses, and they're now convinced, like, hey, it's like I already lost 3. What's a 4th loss going to do? And then that's where the original plan that they had coming into the market just they move it out of the way. They're no longer able to take a look at the plan that they came in with the market and see themselves using that same plan to get out of their current situation. Now they wrongfully believe that they need something else. For some people, that something else could be over trading. It could be over leveraging. They basically stop doing the things that they know they've written. You might have a plan written down. You might have had successful moments in your trading career where you stick to your plan. But inevitably, once you reach that moment of tilt where one more trade can either get you in a state of market euphoria or bliss or fear, then you start behaving differently. So like I said, there's a very deep connection between trading psychology and risk management. I'd like to keep coming on these calls. I've done a lot of work with risk management and trading psychology, and I have trading plans and drawdown plans and things like that I can share with you all. But I wanted to leave you on this note. If you've never taken the time to look at your P&L to go back into your losing trades, I suggest trying that out, pausing for a week, pausing so that you're able to move forward quickly. I would say stop for a week, stop trading for a whole week. I know it sounds crazy. Stop trading for a whole week. Look at the P&L from your previous week. Spend one whole week reviewing that P&L and trying to understand at what point you did everything correctly or at what point you lapsed and you slipped up, and you start to build a connection to your P&L and your behaviors. And we'll take it from there. I'm going to give you guys a few more things. I'm going to come with some trading plans and things, but I appreciate you all, and thank you, Cliff, for inviting me onto this call. I hope that the information that I provided was able to get you guys to just start thinking about the connection between your prices, your wins, and your actual habits. Thank you.
You know exactly what to do in trading, but why don't you do it? It's not about knowledge. It's about how your brain is wired. Your brain is built for survival, not success. Fear makes you exit too soon. Greed makes you overtrade. Impulsiveness makes you break your own rules. This is why accountability changes everything. With the right system, you rewire your habits, stay disciplined, and finally trade with consistency. If you've struggled to stay disciplined, this challenge was made for you. The brain needs structure, and that's exactly what we give you. Click below to get started.
All right. First of all, before we go in, guys, I just want to thank every single person that came before myself. I want to start it from this author backwards. Ivan, I just want to thank you so much, brother. I mean, sometimes I just think that I don't deserve the people that I know. I just literally just called him few minutes. I already told him, but I should have met him 2 hours probably before. And I called him a few minutes before this live session, and he just jumped on and just gave this value. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you a lot. And if you guys want Ivan to keep on coming on to teach you guys about deep risk management, risk tolerance, and every single thing, drop some number ones in the chat. Let him know that you guys appreciate his time and you want him to come back again and give you every single thing he has been able to acquire in the last 10 years in his journey. I want to go back as well again and say thank you to Albert for always being consistent with his markup review. And also, of course, Willis, thank you so much for always. It's like basically you are reading the book for us, but of course we are with you, brother. And every single time I listen to you, I know that there is something we are also learning from there. Guys, first of all, I really want to just let you guys understand something very well. This is not a show. While I'm sitting back and I'm watching these speakers coming back and forth, in this industry, I want you to understand something carefully now. You see, it is very difficult for you to see what you guys are seeing in one place. And so don't take this moment for granted. You see, in this industry, it's either two mentors are arguing or one is trying to prove that they are better than the other or, whatever. But on this masterclass, it's not that way. And that was the goal. You see, the goal was to see how many traders can come on this masterclass and speak one language. Because I always tell people that every single time somebody asks me, Cliff, what changed in your trading that made you become the trader that you are today? I tell them that I got to realize that there is a lot of information out there, but it is simply the same thing said in different manner. I will explain. So let's say, for example, you come to me and you tell me, Cliff, what is your name? You are asking me that question in English. If you also go like Cliff, I wanted to use different language. Okay, let me use this. Let's say you come to me and say, Cliff, no, you come to me and say, Cliff, my name is David. Let me put it that way. So my name is David. So you're like, Cliff, my name is David. I said, okay, nice to meet you, David. Another person comes and goes like, Je m'appelle David, meaning my name is David again, right? Nothing has changed, just different language. Or another person comes from nowhere and goes like, Меня зовут David. That is Russian now. So that person is basically just saying that, hey, my name is David, my name is David, my name is David. Same thing 3 times in different languages. And so when I started in this industry, one of the things that was confusing me a lot was the block of hearing the same thing and thinking they are different. And so I will go to this individual, I'll find this video, and the person is talking about, the person will be talking about basically, support and resistance. And the other individual is talking about key levels. Now, they may not be support or resistance, but in terms of the order of explanation, you are basically just saying this is the area when the price gets to the top, I'm expecting XYZ to happen. Basically the same thing in hypothesis, just expressed in different ways. And so that was one of the most biggest problem that I found out in this industry. Now, you guys may have heard me say this before. This whole entire idea is not mine. I cannot take the glory for this. Every glory belongs to God. When this idea was dropped in my spirit, a year ago, I was sharing this to my team and I was saying that this story of how TP Masterclass of this structure came out, it was a year ago. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it until God told me again to do it again this year. And so what I'm basically just saying is that don't take any information you hear lightly, whether the book summary, whether about the market overview, whether about the segment. And again, Kema is not available today, but he sends his love. Guys, you guys will see him next week. But at the end of the day, whether it being the market segment, edge, whether it being trading psychology, here it's not about Cliff, it's not about anybody, it's about you guys. The ability for you to come to a call or a live session and get a holistic structure of a body of knowledge. Now, it may not be able to give you everything you need at a go, but I promise you, if you stay consistent, and if you keep on coming, just keep on coming, just keep on coming, just keep on coming. I will tell you something so that you understand. Imagine if I am the baker, all right? I bake, I am the baker, and I'm trying to make bread. Imagine the bread telling me how to bake it. I am the baker, but the bread is telling me how to bake it to become a bread. Now, the reality is, or chances are excellent, that bread may not become the bread it would desire to become, because a bread cannot bake itself. A bread is baked by the baker. So a trader who wants to learn to become a trader, chances are excellent. Trying to make you become a trader does not make sense. Something must make you become a trader. And what that simply means is that when you start and you are trying to learn how to become a trader, you will have to trust a process even when you don't get it. For example, if the baker starts to wash the hands, it may not necessarily make sense to the bread at that moment. If the bread could see the baker doing that, right? Why are you washing your hands? What does that got to do with me coming out as a bread? But it's all part of the process. The baker is just washing the hands. The baker pick the tools, every single thing. They are all part of the process that makes the bread to become a bread. Same thing here. I heard this powerful revelation, and I want to share with you guys. Let's say you want to cook jollof. Okay, I'm sure there are a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians here, and since I said jollof, immediately Nigerians will be thinking Nigerian jollof. No, it's not. Ghanaians, no, it's not a Ghanaian jollof. Just jollof. Okay, whatever it is, jollof. Now, imagine you buy your oil, you buy your rice, you buy your tomatoes, you buy every single ingredients that make jollof. So there is rice, there is salt, there is every single thing. Powerful revelation. Listen to this carefully now. So at the end of the day, you picked up the rice and you started eating the rice separately. And you picked up the oil and you drank a little bit of the oil separately. And you picked up water and you put water in your mouth and you drank it as well separately. Okay? And then you went ahead and you picked up the salt and you sprinkled it in your mouth separately. And then you picked up your tomatoes, your vegetables, and you started eating them. Guys, even if all the raw materials goes into your stomach, you have not had jollof. You are just eating raw rice, drinking oil, drinking water, having salt. That is not jollof. In order for you to have a jollof in your hand to eat, there is a systematic structure of a recipe that needs to come together to prepare jollof. So same rice, same oil, same everything. In a different condition is called jollof. In a different condition is called rice and stew. In a different condition is called Nigerian jollof. Okay, I'm kidding. So does that make sense now? So in different conditions, same ingredients can become anything. Listen to this, guys. No matter what you are right now, you can still become anything depending on what you listen to, depending on the information that enters your mind. It is very important that you understand this, that it is not every single thing that is available to you that will make you a trader. That means the knowledge must be structured in a way for you to become a trader. Very important that you understand this. And so that is the purpose of TP Masterclass, Trading Psychology Masterclass. That how can we bring markup for you to know what you are looking at in the future? How can we bring habit formation like book reading? How can we bring edge conversation? How can we bring risk management conversation? How can we bring trading psychology as a whole? All of them under one umbrella so that the individual can have an experience that will transform their mind. So now, if you understand the vision of this structure of what we are building here as a family, I want you to put TP family in the comment section right now before we go into our segment for today. You're going to be learning a lot today. By the grace of God, I promise you, you are going to learn a lot. Even in fact, myself, there are times that I get to receive the message days before the day. There are times that I receive it probably because the notes and the information are a lot. Sometimes I need to know based on what should I basically teach. Does that make sense? Based on what should I basically teach for that day, for that week, and so on and so forth. Let me go into the comment section right now. Let's see where you guys are tuning in from. Let me talk to you guys for a second. So let me know wherever you're tuning in from. Let's check. Let's bring some couple of few things on the screen. Let me say hello to the TP family. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know definitely we have Nigeria in the house. I hope you guys are doing well. My spiritual father always says that honor is a law. So we honor every single person, who am I and who are every single person here that you will come and sit down for hours just to listen to us. So at the end of the day, let me know. All right. Okay, so we have Nigeria in the house, we have South Africa in the house, South Sudan, Kenya in the house. Amazing. We have Nigeria in the house. Okay, Ecuador in the house. Nigeria again, we got Ghana. Okay, guys, look, if there is somebody you know that needs to be on this live session right now, please let them come. All right, invite them. I saw Kumasi, Ghana. That is very specific. Thank you so much. UAE, we have United Arab Emirates. So you and I in the same time zone. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. Today, I'm teaching about something very, very, very interesting. I titled this, The Financial Thermostat of a Trader. You will never leave this live session again the same way you came. You will never, ever, ever, ever leave this live session the same way you came. I promise you, if you pay attention, and if at the end of the day, you pay attention, you will never, ever, ever leave this live session the same way you came. Today, we are talking about the financial thermostat of a trader. Please write it down. The financial thermostat of a trader. The financial thermostat of a trader. The financial thermostat of a trader. When you are ready, just let me know. Just write it down and then begin to control your atmosphere. You guys already know that we have a culture over here as well, that when it comes to the time that we are learning, you don't want anything to distract you. So make sure that your atmosphere is ready. Today we are talking about the financial thermostat of a trader. You can see the title up on the screen. The financial thermostat of a trader. Please make sure that your environment is not distracting you. Make sure that you are ready. Make sure that nothing around you, if anything is distracting you right now, it means something is trying to stop you from becoming the person you need to become in your life, and you don't want that. You can see that we have 4 years of trading experience, 10 years of trading experience, myself more than a decade, 12 years and counting, 13 years coming soon in this industry. All this experience coming together to help you become the trader you want to become. And today we are talking about something that I think will bless you a lot, the financial thermostat of a trader. Listen, guys, I want to basically let you understand something here. You see, the first thing I want you to understand is that sometimes one of the things that really delay people in life, there are a few things that delays the success of any individual in this life. There are a few things. One of them is ignorance. Ignorance is a very expensive problem because you will pay for it. And normally when you are paying for ignorance, you think you don't deserve it. But you see, the way life is, I always say this all the time, that whether you believe in the law of gravity or not, it doesn't change the fact that if you throw anything up on this wall that we stand on now, it will come down. If you jump from a 50th story building, whether you believe in the law of gravity or not, you will go down. So it doesn't necessarily care about your sentiment. And this is one thing that a lot of traders normally sometimes are always finding it difficult to understand. Listen, guys, in this life that we live in right now, it doesn't really care whether if you understand the things or not. Am I making sense now? And so you need to be able to understand this, that number one, you have made up your mind that you want to become a certain kind of individual in your life. Your desires, your affirmations, every single thing looks right, but something still is not changing. You need to understand that when something is not changing in your life, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what don't I know? What information am I lacking? What is the reality of my knowledge right now in my hands? It's very important that you understand this. Are you with me? So the first one is ignorance. The second one is disobedience. When you hear words like this, people think, oh, it's a church stuff. To be disobedient is not a religious word. Disobedience simply means you have come in contact with knowledge and you refused to be obedient to the facts. So right now, if there is fire and I'm telling you fire will burn you, and you refuse to accept the characteristics of a fire, in that case now, it is no more ignorance. That is you being disobedient to the fact that what you are looking at will hurt you. So number one, ignorance. Number two is disobedience. And number three is pride. Anytime that you find somebody not being able to rise to a certain level, it means that individual is violating a certain principle, meaning the person is refusing to understand that life does not evolve around them, and they think their way of thought, their ideologies changes everything. It's not true. Why am I trying to let you understand this right now? The reason why I want you to understand this right now is because if you don't understand that life is principles, you will think Cliff is just about to share with you a series of opinions. Every single thing I teach them in the order of laws and principles, so that if you apply them, it will work in your life. If you don't apply them, the consequences will teach you something. So today we are talking about the financial thermostat of a trader. Financial thermostat is one of the most powerful things I didn't understand a couple of few years back. So I remember, this is very interesting. And anytime I remember this, I'm like, God, my God, like, imagine if I didn't have this knowledge till now. Just imagine I didn't have that knowledge. So at the end of the day, one of the things that I will tell you is this. You need to basically understand that in this life that we live in, every single thing that you are looking for, it is not far from you as much as you think. So I remember a couple of few years back, I mean, it's been a long time, I think 8 years now. I always thought life is going to give me what I wanted because I want it. And so every single time I have money, I will basically lose that money in a very weird way. Even when I was a trader, still. I remember back in the days, I will make good money. I will lose it either through over trading, whatever you can name it, or I will lose the money. I remember one time I had a call from one of my mentors, not in trading, but in general in life. And I got money. I got some money. And I was rushing to go pick up a call because I had a call. So I was rushing to go pick up this call. So as soon as I turned around, my forehead here hit a wall. And then I got a cut. So I went to the hospital. That time I was in Ukraine. So I went to the hospital and then they did some, a couple of few minor surgical stuffs on me. And then before I could finish paying for the money, or the bill, every single thing, the money came down to a certain amount of money that didn't make me happy at all. But all these things, I thought it was normal. And until I came across an amazing book. And I think that is a book we are going to be reading next month, titled Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. This book is going to teach you why your subconscious mind is everything. And so I didn't believe in this whole financial thermostat thing. I didn't believe in all these, affirmation or, believe. And I didn't believe in that. And so when I started to realize, I was like, wow. I've been cheating myself. So all this while, when my car is scratching somebody's car for no reason, as soon as you get money, that is when the person you owe 8 years ago is now somehow texting you, hey, bro, the money you owe me. For some reason, as soon as you got the money, that is when the person is reminding to text you. As soon as you got some money, that is when somebody comes to want to borrow from you. As soon as you get the money, that is when some sickness, illness from nowhere, so some weird reason keeps on coming. And you see, When you talk like this, people are like, you're basically saying life is spiritual. Yes, it is, but not from the way you are thinking it. Life is spiritual, not because of a religious understanding. Life is spiritual because it's the only thing that makes sense. That you can look at this phone right now and it didn't exist a few years back and something happened. That you can basically come onto this live stream and then the you right now can leave this live stream and become a different you. What changed? That you can go to a university, come back and they call you a graduate, and truly you were a graduate. I was having one of the master classes, private one, with one of my students a few days ago, and I told them something. I said, why is it that, let's say you go to the hospital and then listen to this carefully now. Listen. Imagine you go to the hospital and then you are either escorting somebody for them to do surgery on this person, or you are going to do surgery yourself. They took you to the right room, the right surgical room, with the right table, the right medical kit, the right everything, the right lights, everything, good conditions, good machines, everything. They put you on the bed. Now you have two individuals. One of them is a doctor who has gone to school for almost 9 years. And you have one guy who has watched YouTube videos about how to do surgery. Now, the room is right. There is no problem with the room. But if they ask you, who do you want them to do surgery on? You would tell the doctor that went to school for 9 years. Why? Because you believe in that something is in this person's mind that can lead to life. And you also believe there is something in that other person's life that can lead to death. You see, at that moment, you don't care about the room. You don't care about the right tools. You don't care about the right table. You don't even care that the hospital looks luxury. All you care about at that moment is the mindset behind the table. But why is it that when it comes to trading, for some weird reason, people think you need the right strategy, you need the right tools, you need the right indicators, you need the right, whatever courses you want to call it, right mobile phone, right laptop, and all of a sudden, for some weird reason, you will make money. But when you tell them that trading is highly mindset and spiritually inclined, they don't think that you are making sense. Guys, today, I'm going to teach you the invincible limits to your success. You will get to understand the level of your financial thermostat. Then you will get to know how to increase your financial thermostat. And we are going to do this so practically. We are going to do this so practically that 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month from now, some of you guys will come and share a testimony that, Cliff, something has changed in my trading. I promise you this. Believe me on that. You will come and say, Cliff, something has changed in my trading. I want you to write this down. The first thing I want you to write down, I wrote down some 2 definitions here. I wanted to give 2 definitions of financial thermostat. The first definition of a financial thermostat I wrote here, and I said, a financial thermostat is the subconscious setting. Please write it down. The financial thermostat is the subconscious setting that determines how much money you are comfortable handling and keeping based on your beliefs. Don't worry, I will take it again. Based on your beliefs, conditioning, and self-identity around money. Write it down. A financial thermostat is the subconscious setting that determines how much money you are comfortable handling and keeping, influencing your financial decisions, habits, and outcomes. Okay? I want you to underline the word handling and keeping. I want you to underline the word handling and keeping. I'm going to take the definition one more time again. Financial thermostat is the subconscious setting that determines how much money you are comfortable handling and keeping, influencing your financial decisions, habit, and outcome. That is definition number one. Definition number two, your financial thermostat is the internal limit that controls how much financial success you allow yourself to experience. I'm going to take the second definition again. Please write this definition down. Your financial thermostat is the internal limit. Second definition. Your financial thermostat is the internal limit that controls how much financial success you allow yourself to experience based on your beliefs, based on conditioning and self-identity around money. If you have the definition, please drop some number ones in the chat. If you have the definition, drop some number ones in the chat. If you have all the definitions, let me know in the comments so that we can move on. Remember, here we are taking our time. Even if we have to do financial thermostat part 2, we will do it. The goal is that you get the understanding. So just don't worry about it. If you have all the definition, please don't worry. If you're not able to finish financial thermostat part 1 today, we'll do part 2 tomorrow, God willing. Okay, sorry, next week. It's like I can't wait. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to tell you is I want to pick up the definition carefully. Let's diversify the definition. So a financial thermostat from the definition number 1 says, okay, I want you to look at this carefully now. I want you to look at the screen. All right, look at the screen carefully now. Okay, no worries. Just look at the screen. Just look at the screen. Thank you so much, media. Look at the screen. So a financial thermostat is the subconscious setting that determines how much money you are comfortable handling and keeping, influencing your financial decisions, habits, and outcomes. First definition. Let's diversify this, or let's break down this first definition first. You see, a financial thermostat, where is the location of this tool or this mysterious conversation? In the subconscious mind. And you may have heard me explain the subconscious mind before, that we have 2 types of mind an individual you have. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is how you came on this live stream. The conscious mind is how you are basically doing every single thing right now, asking questions and so on and so forth. The subconscious mind is where your habit, your behavior, your mindset has created an automated, or in other words, autopilot behavior. So that means in your subconscious mind, there is a setting. That setting you have there is what determines how much money you are comfortable handling. Okay, we will come to definition number 2, don't worry. Comfortable handling and keeping. Now, these settings you have in your mind, okay, they influence your financial decisions. They influence your financial habits, and they influence your financial outcome. Definition number 1. Are you with me? Let's go to definition number 2. So the definition number 1 is quite self-explanatory based on what we're talking about. Now, definition number 2 is this: that your financial thermostat is the internal limit. I love the definition number 2, not more than definition number 1, but it will help you to understand something carefully now. That your financial thermostat, listen to this carefully now. You see, in the definition number 1, I said a financial thermostat is. In definition number 2 is your financial thermostat is the internal limit that controls how much financial success you allow yourself to experience based on your beliefs, based on the way you were conditioned, and self-identity around money. Today we are talking about money. My goal today is that you leave this call or this live stream, come back next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and say, Cliff, something has happened to my finances. Truly, truly, I believe this. This is what I want you to understand carefully, guys. So many years ago, you guys may have heard me say this on the last previous segment. I grew up with my grandmother. And growing up, I heard so many different things about money. Money is the root of all evil. Until when I grew up, I read the Bible for myself and I knew that money, the love of money, not just money, the love of it is the root of all evil. You have heard me say this before, and I want you guys to listen to this carefully now. I remember growing up, every single time I was not feeling well, it was the only time that I would get what I want. Listen to this carefully. Every single time that I'm not feeling well, it was the only time I will get what I want, whether it being food, it being anything. And so as a kid, I realized that this thing is interesting. If I am fine, if I ask for fried rice and chicken, and I grew up in Ghana for 17 years before I traveled, came back to Ghana again and went to Ukraine. So with my 17 years of growing up in Ghana, this thing didn't sit right with me. That if I am in a good mood and I am fine, I don't get what I want. You know what I wanted? Fried rice and chicken. And you know, growing up back then, if your family can afford fried rice and chicken, you have money. Or maybe conflicts. If you are a Ghanaian here, you can relate to drops and number ones in the chat. You know, I remember back then I used to have these friends, you know, not just any friend, you know, a nice, you know, woman that a lady, a girl that I used to like when we were in high school back then. And I remember she would call me and she would be like, oh, what are you eating? And if that time I'm eating a yam and palava sauce or yam or banku, I will not say banku, all right? What I would say is I'm eating fried rice. And, oh, wow, nice. With what? Chicken. But I'm lying. Anyways, so basically, that was what we taught. All right. It really was interesting for me. I was like, God. So if I want the fried rice and chicken, I must be sick first. So as a kid, it conditioned my mind. It made me start to realize that, oh my God. So if I want fried rice and chicken, tell me right now in the comment. If you were me and you lived in my house, and you wanted fried rice and chicken, what would you do? Please tell me. If you were me and you were living in my house and you wanted that fried rice and chicken, what do you think you would do? Tell me. Let's just be very realistic here. I'm waiting for the answer before we move on. So imagine I want fried rice and chicken, all right, as a kid. Now you live in my house. You have been able to discover the pattern of the strategy to be able to get fried rice. Pretend to be sick. The moment I pretend I am sick, I know I will get fried rice and chicken. Is that true? So you see, this is the dangers here. Whether I pretend to be sick or I am actually really sick, listen to this carefully now. They are all the same. Oh, I'm telling you guys, if you understand the information I'm sharing with you here today, your life will change. Whether you pretend to be sick or you are actually really sick, the feeling, the emotion, the effort it has to go in for you to pretend you are sick, the outcome of that feeling is most likely the same as you really actually being sick. Most likely, chances are excellent that 2-3 days later, you actually become sick for real. So growing up, sickness was always something that, small thing I was not feeling well. Little did I know that my mind was conditioned to attract sickness. You see how powerful the mind is? Let me ask you guys right now something right now. Have you ever watched a movie in your life before? And then while you are watching this movie, you tell yourself something like, why is this person doing? You start to even insult the character in the movie. If you have done this before, drop some number ones in the chat. So while you are watching the movie, you are angry at the character. In fact, maybe a girl can even cheat on the guy so bad that you are angry for the guy like it was your girlfriend or your wife. Why do you somehow get so angry that you start to shout at the character in the movie? Question is, do you know that is just a movie? Let me ask you a question now. Do you know what you are watching is just a movie? So if you know that it's just a movie, why are you shouting at the character? That means there is something that subconsciously you believe. But when it comes to money, you refuse to believe it. So do you know that the screams and the shouting that you are shouting at the character in the movie is not real? Do you know that that person in the movie is not real? So why are you shouting? It is a very important revelation for you to understand here. What that simply means is that your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is not. It is what you are feeding it. Are you guys with me? It is what you are feeding it is what is giving you the reaction watching that movie. So if this is true, let me ask you a question right now. That means your mind does not know that you don't have millions. You told it. And your mind, once upon a time, didn't believe you didn't have millions. You told it. You have been able to convince yourself for it to how do I put it? It has landed in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind believes you that you are broke. It believes you. It believes you so well, so it creates your habits, it creates your belief system, it creates every single thing. So you would tell yourself things like, I don't want to go to, Golden Tulip Hotel. This one is not for people like us. What do you mean? What do you mean? Golden Tulip is not for people like us. Listen, if you pay attention to the information that you are listening to right now, your life will never remain the same again. This is not some stupid, conversation we're having or me trying to motivate you. Listen, your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is not. You told it. So when you told your brain, the minute your brain believed that, when other people are going to Golden Tulip, going to Kimpiski in Ghana, beautiful hotel, by the way, when people are going to Movenpick, when people are going to Atlantis, the Royal, whether you're in Dubai, they say things like, this is not for people like us. Don't ever tell yourself like that again. Because the more you tell yourself that, your brain is like, okay, so this person is poor, this person is broke, he cannot go to these areas. So what I have to do is to make sure that he never goes there. But listen, guys, you want to meet millionaires? You want to meet business investors? Where do you think they are? Are you with me now? So your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is not. Your brain does not know that you are broke. You told it. Now today you're going to understand what it means by declare. That even though $1 is all that you have, you raise it up and you say, Father, thank you. Thank you that I have $1, but I'm still a millionaire. You are trying to do something to your subconscious mind settings. So that just like the law of gravity, just like the previous sessions we've had, like internet, you may not see it, but it is there. Connect it with the right password, and I tell you, you will now connect to the internet and you can browse. Same thing with financial thermostats. Are you with me? If you are learning something, drop some number ones in the chat right now. If you're learning something, you will never live the same way again on this live stream. I promise you, by the grace of God, you will never live the same way again. If you humble yourself and you listen to the information I'm teaching you right now, you will never leave this masterclass the same way you came. So now, I'm sure you understand, right? Now you understand the first definition of financial thermostat. The financial thermostat is the subconscious settings. So the first question, as somebody who wants to change the settings, is you need to find out the current one. Are you with me? If truly a financial thermostat is a setting, then you need to be able to change the subconscious setting. If you're able to change the subconscious setting, you will now be able to determine how much you are comfortable handling, comfortable keeping, and you will start influencing your financial decision and your habits differently. Are you with me? Okay. Let's continue learning. The first thing I want you to understand is this. That at the end of the day, this is how I want you to see. So you see the financial, we have talked about the financial thermostat. Let's pick up one thing and let's call it thermostat. Let's discuss thermostat. Listen to this carefully now. Write down thermostat. Thermostat is a regulator. A thermostat is a regulator, but the main job of a thermostat is to show you the current degrees of a temperature. Are you with me? A thermostat is a tool used to identify a certain degree of a temperature, whether in a room, in an institution, so on and so forth. Are you with me? So the first thing that you need to understand is this. If you enter a room right now and the room is 22 degrees, especially if you live in Dubai, normally we are using the thermostat to regulate the cold. If you go to Ukraine, we used to use a thermostat to regulate the heat temperature during winter times. So the thermostat, the goal of it is to show you it's on 22 degrees, 21 degrees, whatever degrees. And then your job is to make sure if it is too low, you do something about it. If it's too high, you do something about it. So a financial thermostat now is you understanding that that there is a subconscious setting in your mind. After this call, you will get to be able to know how to read it. When you now are able to read it, you will now be able to basically check where you are and where you're going. I'm going to ask you guys this question. I'm going to show you something right now. How many of you guys on this call right now believes from the bottom of your heart that you can be able to make $1? Let's do a quick practical lesson right now. How many of you guys right now believe that you can literally make $1? Tell me. How many of you guys right now believe from the bottom of your heart you can make $1? Okay. How many of you guys believe right now from the bottom of your heart you can make $10 easily and you can handle $10? How many of you guys right now believes right now on this call that you can easily make $500? If you can make $500, put 500 in the comment. You believe you can easily. Not that you are desiring. Not desire. That you know that if we leave this call right now and I tell you, go make $500, you will come back tomorrow and bring me $500. For real. Because right now we are being practical, trying to identify your financial thermostat. Okay. How many of you guys right now believe that you can make $10,000 easily? If you can make $10,000 easily, put $10,000 in the comment. $10,000 easily. When I say believe, I'm not saying your desire. I'm basically just saying that something that you know that you can do it. No, you have not done it, it's fine. How many of you guys right now believe that you can make $100,000? $100,000. $100,000. How many of you guys believe you can make $100,000? Listen, guys, now I'm going to tell you guys something right now. You see, financial thermostat, listen to this. Let's go back to the definition so you understand this carefully. This is where we're going to separate the whole argument about what is financial thermostat clearly. Listen to this. Watch this. So now some of you guys are telling me I can handle Your financial thermostat is the internal limit. Do you know what that means? It means it doesn't matter even if I believe this room can be cold. So I'm going to explain something to you. This is a glass. This is a bottle of water. For the sake of this, I'm going to just put this here. Now, this is where the water is currently right now. Here. Okay? Now, let's say this water wants 1.5 liters of water in it. Is it possible? Let's say this glass wants 1.5 liters in it. This bottle is 500. Do you think that 3 of this will go into this glass? Is it possible? No, it's not possible. So no matter how much this glass desire 1.5 liters of water, I'm sorry, this glass can never get 1.5. It's not possible. Now, this is the saddest part of the reality. That a lot of people become traders and they have been able to acquire the skill sets. They know how to trade ICT. They know how to trade smart money concepts. They know how to trade every single thing. They don't have a problem making $1. They don't have a problem making $2. In fact, some of you guys can make $1 easily. They don't have a problem making $500 from a account. They don't have a problem doing anything. But listen to this carefully now. If your financial thermostat of making money is 250 ml, which is $250, and you try to make $10,000 from a profit account, they will hit you with you broke the rule. They can even hit you, you violated. they can hit you with, hey, you even over leverage, or you will over leverage and lose your account. Somebody will insult you that day and you'll be so angry and you will violate your account. Anything will happen to make sure you come back to 250 ml. Because if I try to put 1.5 liters into this glass, eventually it will start to overflow and it will pour away. That is what is happening to you guys right now when we talk about financial thermostat. So financial thermostat is not just a desire. It's not just a belief system. Financial thermostat is not a belief system. It is your belief system that has shaped your financial thermostat. Listen to this carefully now. So if I ask how many of you guys can make $10,000, how many of you guys can make 10K? It doesn't simply mean that how many of you guys believe you can make 10K. Does that make sense? How many of you guys believe you can make 10K? I'm going to basically show you something right now, guys. You already know. Every single time I want to show you something. Let me share my screen. Let me bring this up on the screen and show you something. Follow me now. Listen to this carefully now. This is where you got to understand something. When I started trading, my financial thermostat, I will never forget. Back in the days when I started trading, my financial thermostat was $200. But it was not in dollars, it was in grievance. It was in the Ukraine money. And I'll never forget. 200. Opportunities will come. I will make something here and there. I always ended up in $200. So listen to this carefully now. Are you with me watching my screen? Okay, so watch this. So if I give you millions right now, if I give you millions right now, $1 million, okay, let's say $1 million. I give you $1 million account. If I give you $1 million account right now to trade as a trader, the $1 million account is in the hands. $1 million account not in the hands of a millionaire is a problem. So the individual that can trade $1 million account must be a millionaire. Are you with me? $1 million account must be in the hand of a millionaire. If you beg, you borrow, you ask for help for them to help you to give you $1 million account, and your financial thermostat, meaning your belief system, is shaped for $250. Something will happen to this account and it will come all the way to $250. And then what will happen is you will now basically start to handle this well. So every single money, listen to this carefully. Now, this is where it's going to give you a light bulb moment. Every single amount of money that the minute that is the only thing that is remaining on you, you start to think well. That is your financial thermostat. Listen. Cliff, how do I know my financial thermostat? No problem. Every single amount of money that the minute it is the only amount of money left with you, and you start to say things like, oh man, I really need to really start saving, Oh man, what can I even invest in? I mean, I'm not even going to buy this thing again, You start to, your subconscious mind start to kick in. That is your financial thermostat. So if I ask you now, can you be able to make $10,000? It's not a matter of belief and desires. It's a matter of you truly, practically identifying your financial thermostat. So right now you are listening to me. Some of you guys will go home and you'll be able to say, oh, okay, so that is why I'm able to do this, and that is why XYZ. Yes. Because now you are understanding the way your structure of the mindset works. So it is the amount of money. Let's say, for example, right now they give you 10,000. If you are a good person, listen. If you are a good person with a good heart, you will start to help every single person you know. You will borrow them money. You will buy them things. You will do every single thing to make sure this money will come back to a small amount of money. And the same you that was borrowing people money, helping everybody, you will now start to be like, I don't even know why I keep on doing this. Even look at this guy. Why did I even help him? You come back to your senses. If you are somebody that you like flashy things, the moment you get $10,000, you will buy all until when it is almost finished, you'll go, oh, you know what? Why didn't I even invest this money? So your financial thermostat, again, by the definition, is the amount of money based on your subconscious setting you are able to handle and to keep. So right now, this is where it breaks my heart. I have met many talented traders. I have met many serious traders. But then their financial thermostat is low and they are trying to skip that and try to use just the skill set to be able to get the amount of money they desire. It doesn't work like that. Your financial thermostat must handle the account you are trying to manage. It must be hand in hand. Are you with me now? So right now, what are we talking about now? We are talking about financial thermostat of a trader. We have been able to identify the meaning of financial thermostat. We have been able to understand that your belief system shapes your financial thermostat. But your financial thermostat, unfortunately, right now, has a settings. This is the problem. So whatever you are telling me now, 10,000, I believe, 2,000, I believe, that is your conscious mind. Remember, financial thermostat is in the subconscious. So there are things we need to do to make sure your subconscious mind truly believes you when you say you can make 10,000. And when truly you believe, you will make it. So the Bible says that these signs shall follow those who believe. So if I want to know what you believe, I just look at what is following you. It's as simple as that. You cannot tell me, I believe I can make 10,000 and I go like, yay, he said he believed. You are lying. Because if you truly believe, according to the law of belief system says, whatever you believe must follow you. Are you with me? So yes, your goal is to make 100,000. Your goal is to make 10,000. If you are not able to make it, and if you are not able to keep it, and if you are not able to handle it, according to the law, number one, of your belief system, your conditioning, your financial thermostat is saying the sentence is not 10,000. The sentence is 250. The sentence is just $100. The sentence is just $5. The sentence is just probably maybe some couple of few different currencies here and there. Are you guys with me? This is a very powerful understanding. So a lot of traders are asking themselves, why is it that I can grow an account to this when I have this, and when I want to do this, it comes back to that? It is not demons. It's a subconscious sentence. And I will explain something to you right now. What is the 10%? No, let's say, what is 3% of $100? Can somebody tell me in the chat? What is 3% of $100? What is 3% of $100? $3. Okay. So now if you say you are risking $3 and your risk to reward ratio is 1:2, how much will you make? If you are risking 3% of $100 and your RRR is 1:2, how much are you supposed to make? Let's be practical. I want you to really leave this call with something. How much are you supposed to take? How much are you supposed to make if your RRR is 1:2? Come on, guys. 1:2. Okay, $6. Thank you. So if your RRR is 1:2, that means you're going to be making $6. True? Okay. So now, what is the 3% of 10,000? Come on, mathematicians, give me something. What is a 3% of 10,000? What is 3% of 10,000? What is 3% of 10,000? Perfect. So the risk to reward ratio of 1:2 of that is 600, correct? Now remember, listen, this is where you need to understand this. If your financial thermostat is low, it's easy for you to be able to make $6 and risk $3. But the more the income is growing in your account, and then the less your financial thermostat still is, it will have a limitation. That means same 3% of the risk which was working for you 2-3 weeks ago is not the same risk financial thermostat wise that will work 4 months from now. So when you go, for some weird reason, the same 3% is not working anymore. Because now, if you are losing, you're not losing $3. You are losing $300. If you are making, you're making $600. Are you with me? If you are trying to manage $100,000 account, you are no more risking 300, but you're risking 3,000. Are you guys with me? Let this one sink in a little bit so that you understand why a lot of people keep on. How many of you guys keep on saying that, hey, why is it?
You know exactly what to do in trading, but why don't you do it? It's not about knowledge. It's about how your brain is wired. Your brain is built for survival, not success. Fear makes you exit too soon. Greed makes you overtrade. Impulsiveness makes you break your own rules. This is why accountability changes everything. With the right system, you rewire your habits, stay disciplined, and finally trade with consistency. If you've struggled to stay disciplined, this challenge was made for you. The brain needs structure, and that's exactly what we give you. Click below to get started. What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple. Education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
My losses are lessons that make me a better trader. I arise after every setback, stronger and wiser. I do not fear failure because I am built to succeed. I learn, I adapt, and I grow every single day. I am resilient. Nothing can break my focus. I trade with patience. I know the best opportunities will come. I am steady, consistent, and emotionally strong. Now, before we go on, I want you to keep this.
All right, guys, let's do it again. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just drop some number ones in the chat for me. Don't worry, guys, it's fine. We're going to wrap it up as soon as we can as well. Just drop some number ones in the chat if you can hear me. Let's take it out from there. Okay, so where was I? So the idea right now is that basically, number one, you want to be able to grow as a trader, right? You want to be able to grow as a trader. And you are basically starting and you are trading. This is where I think we're going to have a financial thermostat part 2, because I cannot really do justice to this. And it's almost time and we have to start even wrapping up. But the idea is that, listen to this. If there is somewhere that I want to end, because I wanted to show you practical ways that you can actually go and reprogram your mind to grow your financial thermostat you can see. So what I'm going to do right now is this whole technical side of the risk management that I wanted to show you guys. I will leave that to maybe, let's say, the part 2, and so that we can go in well. Let me give you guys some practical things that you can do right now. One of the practical things I want you to do right now is this. I want you guys to write down one thing, just one thing. So let's just say, for example, so watch this. So I want you to do this right now. I want you to basically write this. Okay. I want you to take a screenshot of this. In fact, what I will also do for you guys is that I have a millionaire mind as a trader. I attract profit every day, getting closer to that status. I have a millionaire mind as a trader. I attract profit every day, getting closer to that status. Now listen, this is not just about you declaring the information I'm telling you right now. This is basically you printing this mindset in your mind. And I want you to add this to even let you see results now. Listen to this carefully now. This is all I want you to do. And I want you guys to come back and tell me if the moment you do the homework I'm telling you, you don't have to believe me. You don't believe me. Believe the information you are hearing. Okay? Just believe the information you're hearing. Just take a screenshot of this and say, sorry, let me put T here. I made a mistake. Just believe in the information you're hearing. Just do it. Do it like you have nothing to lose. I have a millionaire mind as a trader. I attract profit every day, getting closer to that status. I have closed this week with profit. This is all I want you to do from today, the close of today, to the following Sunday. Okay, just do it. Just do it. And I want you to imagine that you have actually it doesn't matter, demo, life account, whatever it is. I want you to imagine yourself really actually closing the coming week with profit. That is all that I want you to do. Because the information I want to basically teach you next, okay, the information I want to teach you next in the financial thermostat part 2, this is part 1. So financial thermostat part 1, we'll have financial thermostat part 2, and until we finish the whole entire, we do justice to that topic. But I want you to do this. If you do this and something changes in your trading, just by you just believing this, when you come on the next segment following week, you will come differently. You will listen differently. You will start to understand that this thing that we are hearing, they are not just opinions, but they are actually laws. I want you to take a screenshot. If you have taken a screenshot, please drop some ones in the chat. That I have a millionaire mind as a trader. I attract profit every day, getting closer to that status. And I have closed this week with profit. I have closed this week with profit. That is all that I want you to do, nothing else. Just when you wake up in the morning, this is what I want you to do. This is like a medication, right? And somebody will be like, Cliff, what do you mean? Listen to this carefully now. If right now you go to the hospital, okay, you go to the hospital right now, listen to this carefully. We are about to wrap up right now, so don't worry. Don't worry about it at all. Let's be about to wrap up right now. Okay, and I want you to listen to this carefully now. We are about to wrap up. I'm going to leave this thing on the screen so that we take it out from there. I want you guys to listen to this. Look, in this world that we live in here, listen to this. You need to understand something. That if you go to the hospital and then you tell the doctor you have headache, and the doctor tells you, okay, how long have you been having this headache? And the doctor goes like, I've been having this headache for a couple of, you tell the doctor you've been having this headache for a couple of few days now, and he gives you paracetamol or any Panadol. And the doctor tells you when you go, take this one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. You don't need to believe the doctor for the drug to work. Just take the dosage, the right one. And when you put this drug in your system, the drug is not going to ask for your permission. The drug is going to know exactly what to do in your system. So when you are taking the drug, you don't go like paracetamol. When you are going into my body, I have pain in my head, and I want you to go and heal me. The paracetamol or the Panadol knows exactly what to do. It's called the mechanism of action. It simply means that there are certain enzymes and there are certain kind of chemicals that has been combined together, looking for a certain kind of receptors in your body to make sure that it either silences or make sure that every single thing is in order. So you don't have to tell the paracetamol when you go and heal the pain in my head. The paracetamol knows exactly what to do when it goes into your body. That is what knowledge is. What you are hearing today right now is going to be exactly the same thing. It's like settings. Just take a screenshot of what you have seen over here and say, I have a millionaire mind as a trader. Now listen, it's not going to make you a millionaire this coming week. It's not going to probably even make you a millionaire in the next year or two. But something will start changing in your behavior. Remember, your habits, your conditioning, the way that you approach things, something will start changing. That I have a millionaire mind as a trader and I attract profit every day, getting closer to the status. I have closed this week with profit. Just like a dosage, like a doctor. Listen to me carefully now. You wake up in the morning and I want you to write this down. Look at what you have written down. Read it to yourself 5 times. In the afternoon, I want you to read it to yourself 5 times. That's an alarm. In the evening, I want you to read it to yourself 5 times. Every day. For more than 1 week, but then for this coming week, just do that. Even if you don't make the amount of money you are looking for, something will happen to you. Believe me. Just believe me. There is a day coming in TP family, we will do something very interesting. We are going to call it the Breaking Fear Day for TP family. That day, we will all do something we are all afraid of, and we will all document it and we will share it as a family one of these days. I'm looking at maybe March or April thereabout. So I have things I'm still afraid of. You have things you are afraid of. Some of you guys, your own is, how will I dress up and go to this restaurant that is expensive? I don't have no money. No problem. Just dress and go and sit there and take your book and go and sit down. We will all do it, and everybody will document it. And we will have a memory of all that footages that we are all going to do. We are all going to do it. I will do it myself. I will do what I'm also afraid of, and I will record it and I will show you guys on YouTube. And you will also do yours. Everybody will do it. Guys, listen, the trading psychology structure that we are building here, let the naysayers say whatever they want to say. Let them insult us. Let them say that we are crazy. While people, let them keep on learning the strategies, getting the indicators. Just leave them. You learn your strategy. While you are learning it, balance it with the information you are hearing here. And I promise you, your trading will not remain the same. So this week assignment, take this note and write it down. I have a millionaire mind as a trader. I attract profit every day, getting closer to that status. I have closed this week with profit. Just repeat it 5 times, 3 times a day like a dosage. Just do it and watch what happens to your subconscious mind. And I want you to believe it. Remember our movie analogy? Just like the movie, you are watching it, it's not real, but yet you can shout at the character. I want you to imagine yourself like that. It's very important. And there is a day coming, as I said, we're going to be doing the Breaking Fear Day, whereby we're going to do something that scares all of us. And you document it to push yourself to another limit. So, with that all being said, this is Financial Thermostat Part 1. It's so sad that we cannot finish everything in one block. But since this is our masterclass, this is all of us, our page, let's be patient and let's learn systematically. The Part 2, we're going to be talking about how to practically really reprogram your mind to increase your financial thermostat capacity. But don't wait for me. We'll go and do some couple of few research here and there and so on and so forth. With that all being said, I know some of you guys are waiting for me about the accountability program. The website by the team is done. I want to go and check it out and see the way the website looks. As soon as every single thing is okay with the landing page, you guys will receive the information on YouTube. With that all being said, thank you so much, guys, for hopping on today's masterclass. Please believe me when I tell you this. There is many things we're going to be doing in this platform, and there are many exciting things that we are bringing on also on TP Masterclass. Many transformational progress stuffs. You guys will love it. There are so many things I don't want to ruin the surprise for you guys now. But with that all being said, watch this video again. Watch it again and again and again before even the Part 2, so that you can be able to understand certain things about yourself. Be honest with yourself. Don't say, hey, I can make this. No problem. I believe you can make it too. But let's find out where your settings are right now. Are you $250? Are you $100? Are you $1,000? Let's increase it then. Okay? We all have financial thermostat. Guys, if my financial thermostat was $1 billion, I would have been having billions by now. Does that make sense? So everybody has a financial thermostat. It's very important that you understand that. So with that all being said, thank you so much for always giving the attention that you give. I don't take this attention for granted at all. No man can be able to do these things except the Lord be with him. And we give God all the praise, all the honor for what he's doing in this TP family. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week. Make sure you share this video to somebody to bless them as well, for them to learn and grow. And if you have any questions, kindly just make sure that you will put it in one of the comment sections in the video or under this video. Thank you so much, guys, and take care and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading